Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. It is me, it is I, it is she, it is thee, it is her, it is who? It is Rosie Rosette 2020. Oh, honey, my plants. I guess y'all miss me. Okay. I guess I need to water them before I go to sleep because they like, honey, we're about to die over here. You making videos. Hey, you guys. How are you guys doing? Did I do it again? It is me, it is I, it is she, it is her, it is thee, it is who? It is Rosie Rosette 2020 pal. Listen, y'all know I went to Vegas, right? For my birthday, got a little cheap flight there. What I do is I call Frontier there. I think you pay $32. Airport's right down the street. Okay. I waited to the last minute because my boss, he was playing around. I was like, come on, I need this PTO because I know I just got back to work. Right? So, I was like, look, dude, you need to okay that or whatever. He's like, no, no, you just got back. You can't go back. And then finally he was like, nah, I'm just playing. You can go ahead and go. So I should have just made the airfare, booked the air for like a month or two ago. That's okay, because next year. Anyway, so by the time, it got close to my birthday, like a week or two, a week before, a couple of days before, no, it wasn't even a week. I think it was 6 days before anyway. The airfares really go up or whatever. So anyway, I flew in on Frontier and I came back on Southwest. Southwest, you get two 50-pound bags, right? Okay, so that's what happened. And yes, I did have two 50-pound bags. Listen, go on to my new travel channel. It's NSF Travel 2020. Okay, and NSF stands for non sufficient funds, and it's regarding budgeted vacations because you guys know I'm cheap, I'm broke, I'm frugal when it comes to vacations. So, this is how you get around cheaply because I'm not a 5 star. Okay. Now, I will go with someone who is 5 star, and if they want to spend 5 star money, I'm not. I'll do 5 star at a budgeted price, but I'm not doing 5 star prices. I can't afford that. Okay. I can't afford that. Not the way I travel. I travel multiple times a year when it's not a pandemic. Anyway, so went there. It was drama at the airport. This girl, black woman, got off the plane and was like they were disrespectful, whatever. I was like, oh, here we go. And I tried to tape it, but listen, I'm at the airport. I'm ear hustling. So right when people get off the plane, I'm like sitting right here, right? I'm standing right here. People getting off the plane. Okay. So then I'm trying to be nosier, and I go over to the desk, the service desk, right? And so I lean over so I don't have to stand. Yeah. Oh shoot. Okay. I won't be up much longer. Okay. All right. Scary. Anyway, so I go over the side of the service desk or whatever. I'm trying to, because I had that one. I have one bag. I don't pay for anything or whatever. Frontier, you can get a personal bag or whatever. I had that one personal bag and I stuffed everything in there. That's a whole nother story. I go over to the side of the service desk or whatever, and then I see this man. Guess who it looks exactly like? Exactly like Kevin Samuels. Is that his name? Yeah, Kevin Samuels. Exact those Coke bottle glasses, the little gray salty hair. He was tall and he was slim. Okay, but and I was like, no, that's not him because I know he's seen my videos of me talking about him, whatever. But I wasn't really interested in him. I was interested in what was going on with her, whatever. So I'm standing over. I got on bright orange or whatever, whatever. So I'm standing over trying to listen to make sure she's okay, whatever. I'm like, okay, should I record this, whatever. Anyway, so then the Kevin Samuels guy, he walks over and he says, I don't, I guess, can I get an upgrade or something like that? And then they say name, and then he says something, but it wasn't Kevin Samuels, so I was like, no. But I'm telling you, I don't know if Kevin Samuels is his real name. Excuse me, because this brother looked exactly like him. He was tall. They say Kevin Samuels is about 6'4". This guy was like 6'4". He looked exactly like him. Same glasses. He had on a different type of ring though. Some it was very odd. Very unique, but it was a big ring. And so I was looking at one of his videos while I was exercising, see if I saw that ring or whatever. I don't know if he would wear it. When it wouldn't go with one of his suits, but I'm telling you, I think that was Kevin Samuels. I don't know if he was in San Jose or whatever, and I didn't even want to get into it with him or whatever, and want to talk or whatever, because I was listening to the girl having an issue because the police had came. So I was like, oh Lord. For one, I was like, okay, we're gonna be able to go to Vegas or whatever. So our flight was a little bit delayed or whatever. And then after, and so then I asked the flight attendant something, or the lady. What did I ask him something? Oh, because it was getting hot. I was like, do you guys have air conditioning in this terminal, whatever? I was like, is it gonna be hot on the plane? Because it was hot that day. And they were like, yeah. And I think I asked him something else, but the guy, the Kevin Samuels guy came in. I don't know what he was getting or whatever, because you can't upgrade because it's Frontier. I don't know what. First, I don't know. But he did something. He upgraded something. So anyway, I was the first person to get on the phone. I was the first person to get on the flight. So I was like, okay, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. I don't want to make it this long. So that was getting on. Once I got there, I was famished. So I stayed at the Link with the high roller wheel or whatever. It was cheap. It was cheap. It was dirt cheap. Um, the hotel, the rooms were cool. They needed to be vacuumed a little, but this is what it was. They didn't come in and clean. I've never stayed at a hotel or a motel or even a hostel that they didn't come and clean every day. Cause I was just at Bally's, what, 2 months ago? March, April, March, 3 months ago. They cleaned. So I was just horrified. So anyway, but that location is perfect. If they could just clean and come vacuum and clean the rooms every day or whatever. So they would give, towel packages with tissue and, toiletries or whatever. Honey, I brought all that tissue home. Anyway, so it was hot that first night. It was so hot. And I had on bright orange. But the first night I was famished. I went to check in because I didn't get in until 11. So caught the cab because I was going to catch the bus, but it was too late. So caught the cab. That was like $23 flat rate. Then got to the Link or whatever. It was like 400 for the room and incidentals. Okay, so I think the room for 4 nights was like 263 or whatever. It was dirt cheap, but yeah, that was the room rate plus the resort fee. Now that's where they get you. They're gonna get that resort fee no matter what. So anyway, went in, checked in. You guys saw the video of I brought all the stuff. I showed you all the stuff that I brought. I didn't even wear half of that because the next day I'm walking down or whatever. I get, walk down. I'm going to get something to eat. This lady was like, okay, here's timeshare, whatever. Boom, here's another timeshare. Boom. Okay, so that was 100, I think $225 that I went to timeshare things. I think, did I go back to back? I think I did two that day. So I think I went to one timeshare thing, went shopping. No. I went to one timeshare thing and then I went shopping. Then someone else was like, hey, we can get you another timeshare thing or whatever. And I think that was for whatever. Anyway, I ended up doing about 3 or 4 timeshare things. I made like 270, I think 300 and something. And timeshare thing, I think I would just do a timeshare thing, go shopping, do a timeshare thing to go shopping. After all that, but even though I was going shopping, I never got off of the strip until I went to the Fremont Experience to go see the Michael Jackson or Motown Extreme, which was a really good show. If you can get it through the timeshare or if you can pay for it, you need to go because that is a really good show and it's quaint. It's not a big, place or whatever. It's not massive or whatever. But it's one of those shows where you have to buy 2 drinks or some food or whatever. So literally, and it was hot. That first day was hot. And then the second and third day it was like overcast because it was raining. Thank God. Thank God you do not want to be in Vegas when it's hot. So anyway, basically, I just basically went to timeshare things and shopped for the first 2 days. So Tuesday and Wednesday, timeshare thing and shopped. Thursday, I think I went to timeshare thing also and shopped. So when Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, basically I did timeshare things and shopped and ate. Um, Wednesday night I was at El Gordo, whatever, and I have it on my other travel channel. And I'm walking down the street or whatever because I was hungry or whatever, and I wanted to look at Resort World. So what I was gonna do, so Wednesday night, 12 o'clock midnight, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, we're in El Gordo taco thing, and I meet two other YouTubers that are from the Bay or whatever, husband and wife, the Jeffries. So we had never been to El Gordo or whatever. We were trying to figure it out, and I'm taping or whatever. So anyway, you can see that on my NSF travel. I haven't uploaded it yet because on that phone that I was filming on, it's so small. I can barely see it or whatever. I have to get my reading glasses. Anyway, so my birthday was on Friday, right? My birthday was on Friday. Oh, another thing about Vegas. Okay, I've gained weight. You can see it in my pictures on my video, on the other two videos. Okay, you can see my stomach was huge. It's not that big right now. I don't know if that was travel weight or whatever. I mean, it's big, but it was like really. You okay? See, you see that, right? But it was like really sticking out on that video when I was showing you my budgeted shopping, right? Listen, some of the girls, most of the women I saw with men, my stomach is a flat pancake compared to theirs. When I say flat, I mean flat. Com- Compared to most of the women that I saw in Vegas, black women and white women and Asian women and Mexican women, my stomach was a flat as a pancake compared to, I would say, 70% of the women that were with men. Some of the things that I saw, especially okay, so another thing, so when I came from the airport, you really don't see that many black people in airports. It was Vegas airport, it was basically 80% black when I got off the plane to go. When I got up Frontier at 11 o'clock, it was, I don't know, I think a lot of people were stuck at the airport because Southwest, something, whatever. Honey, it was like 80% black. I was like, yes. Got off the plane. Now, I stayed at the Link, and the Link is not a very expensive hotel. So I think from the Luxor all the way up to Harris to the Venetian. I think that's all black people. I think all. I'm not gonna say all black people. I'm gonna say all lower income, because once you go from the Venetian, then it's the Wynn and the Encore, and then World Resort. Well, I mean Circus. No, Circus is after. Is Circus after? Circus is after World Resorts, I think. Anyway, then there's an upper echelon of hotels. So you have the Venetian, you have the Wynn, you have the Encore, you have the shopping mall, then you have World Resorts, right? I think you have Sierra or something. I don't know. But it's just a trip because from the Venetian, not the Venetian, like the Venetian Harris, from Harris all the way down to MGM, it's rocking. Okay, on the side of where the Paris and Planet Hollywood, it's going on. But once you hit the Venetian, it kind of really thins out. Whatever. I mean, the Venetian is beautiful, but it's just a different caliber of people. But anyway, so we're at our Gordos or whatever. Those tacos are so good, and it was 12:01, and it was packed. It wasn't a line outside, but it was packed. There was about maybe 100 people in the restaurant waiting in line. Yeah, because there's like 10 or 8 lines, and there's like 10, at least 10 people in every line. There was about 100 people in the restaurant. 80 of us was in line at 12 o'clock at night. I don't know if that's 24 hours. So that was Wednesday. So I'm telling everybody, Thursday night, I'm like, World Resort, whoop, 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 let's all meet up there because my birthday, I want to bring in my birthday or whatever. I didn't know these people or whatever, but I'm just telling all kinds of people see on the bus or take pictures with, hey, let's, meet up at World Resort or whatever because it's opening tonight at 11 o'clock. My birthday is at 12 or whatever. Listen, I went shopping. Oh, so what I did, what I did. Okay, let me back this up. One day I went shopping. I did a lot of shopping. I was like, you know what? I need to go get another suitcase because I already brought a green one from Ross. I had to get another one because I was just, listen, I didn't even really spend that much because if I wasn't gonna spend it shopping, I would have spent it gambling or doing something, whatever. So anyway, this is my birthday, whatever. But yeah, I brought like 14 pairs of shoes, like five, no, about 10 dresses, about three swimming suits, two pieces of luggage, like maybe 10, 15. Ooh, I brought about 8 sets of pajamas, t-shirts, a sweatshirt, a hat, just girl. Vegas, that's all I do. I don't really gamble. Machine, no, I did gamble, but a machine is not gonna take my money. I need something to show for it, okay? Anyway, so on the second, when I went to go get the second piece of luggage, I took the bus. I looked at Dee Dee's because I know Dee Dee's I can get a cheap piece of luggage, a nice size or whatever. Okay, so I looked on the thing. I was like, okay, I brought a bus pass and went all the way down Flamingo and Border Highway to a Dee Dee's. Ooh. So when I went, it was daytime. When I walked out of Dee Dee's, it was nighttime. Don't do it. Do not go to Flamingo and Border on the bus at night. Let me tell you. And there it's on the video on my NSF channel. Well, I'll load it up. Lord. Let me just tell you, let me just make it short because I'm 17 minutes in. I saw a woman. Okay, first when I sat there, there's a Walgreens. I went to go get something to drink. The first bus stop that's right outside of Dee Dee's. It was some questionable people. I was like, okay, let me go to the next bus stop or whatever. So I went to Walgreens and then there was a bus stop right there. Okay, fine. So I sat down, went to Walgreens, whatever, got my 99 cents drinks. I brought 3 of them because, it was hot there. Sit down. A black lady, no. So before I sit down, when I sit down, a man comes up to me, he's like, hey, you got $2, whatever. I need to get to work. I spent all my money on cigarettes. I was like, no, I got it. So the lady comes, this big, fat, black lady. I think she's butch, whatever. She's like 5'4", about 300 to 400 pounds. She comes, and those little cars that you pull, but it's like a shopping cart, but you pull, not you push, but you pull. It's like a little laundry basket, but you pull. Anyway, she had that, and it looked like she had some food in there. I didn't ask, because it's about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. It's late. It's dark, whatever. And then so I noticed. So she sits next. So there's like 20 seats, maybe 10, 15. She sits, I sat, and then I had my the big luggage, and then she sat right next. Now there's 10 or 15 other seats, but she wants to sit next to me. Okay, fine, it's a free country, whatever. So I'm just looking at her, what's in the thing. I didn't ask. So then the guy comes back. I guess he tries it again, and he says, hey, look, I need $2. I need to get to work. I spent it on my cigarettes or whatever. And her and we didn't say anything. I just looked at him like, dude, you shit out of luck, because ain't no way in hell I'm going to. Anyway, going there, let me preface, going there, there's a cop that gets on, or a police, a transportation police or whatever. He carries a gun. He has on the thing, where he presses, I don't know if he's a cop or whatever. But anyway, he tells me to put on my mask. I was like, okay. He looks at me, whatever. This other guy's like, you are just so pretty. It's hard to take my eyes off you. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. On the way there, it was all good. It was all good. Coming back. So, the guy comes a third time up. And then she was like, Listen, you know the girl who was sitting next to 300 pounder. Well, she was like, "You got a light? You know, I need." So he gives her a light, and then she was like, "Okay, I have a pass for you." And then he was like, "Oh, you know what? I got a track phone. You give me a pass. I'll give you this phone or whatever." So they make the exchange. This is, me, and then the suitcase, and then them. So then he looks at the pass, and he's like, "This pass is expired." But he had already given her the phone. Oh my God. So he's like, "Give me the fucking phone." Da, 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 da. And then so she's like, "No, I gave you you came up to me or whatever, whatever." So they started fighting. So then another white guy comes over and they get, they are fighting her or whatever. I'm not getting into it. I know it's two white men against a black one or whatever, but if she gave him, bum pass or whatever, I'm just like, I'm not. And they're all on drugs. You could tell they're all on drugs. Well, definitely two white guys. And the black woman, I think she was on some too. That's just not my battle. I'm sorry. I am so sorry, but it ain't gonna be me and them, whatever. Because if the cops come, I'm not going. No, 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 no. That's between y'all. You gave him the fake thing, or whatever. You the one who spent all your money on cigarettes. This is not my problem. I'm just trying to get on the bus to get back to the strip where it's safe, okay? Because this shit right here. So, but before all that, there's like 10 or 20 police cars going down Border Highway. Then there's ambulance, whatever. And I'm like, what is going on? This is before she came, or no, while she, come and she pulls her shopping cart or whatever and sits next to her, whatever. All the cop cars are coming, and I don't even know if we were in front of a hospital or whatever, but ambulance or whatever. And I was like, literally, there's like 20 police cars going down, like going north on Border Highway. I was like, oh, I don't know. And then, so this happened. So then, they all started fighting. And I have to say, she was getting them. I mean, it was two white men against a woman or whatever. And I was like, Lord. So I run and jump. I had to get out of the way or whatever. So then they stop. And then she's just like, she tries to get on me or whatever. Well, you saw the transaction. Da, 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 da. I was like, listen, you don't want none of this. Okay. I ain't got nothing to do with this or whatever. You gave him the fake pass or whatever, blah, 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 blah. But she was like, well, you saw the whole thing and you da, da, da. I said, no, but you gave him a fake pass. I said, listen, said, you don't want none of this. Just, you focus on them, whatever, leave me out of it. Because this right here, don't get this mixed up. Don't get this mixed, raggedy weave and this makeup. Don't get this mixed up. You don't want none of this. You just go ahead and, you and them. So she keeps trying to fight the white guys. And I'm like, Lord, I'm like, please get me, I don't think that I'm better or anything else. I'm just not trying to get entangled in this drug addict situation. And I'm just like, yeah, I wanted to take out my phone and film, but if I would take out my phone, which I had a couple phones in my purse or whatever, mm-mm, it just wasn't worth it. I just couldn't believe what was going on. So she was the aggressor. She kept trying to fight. I mean, she was squaring up. I had to ask people if they squaring up or whatever. Thank God the bus finally came. So I get on the bus and I'm like, ooh, girl, to the bus driver. So she was like, what? And then I just go sit down. Soon as I sit down, the black guy who had to get to work, I mean, the white guy who had to get to work and the black guy, they get on the bus and they're fighting. And they're going at it for about 2 to 3 minutes. That's a long time in a fight. And she was really getting them. I mean, for her to be a woman fighting a man. So I run to the back of the bus. I'm about to jump off. And then I'm just like, well, wait a minute. Are they going to fight? They got on the front. And then, so the bus driver had the second door open. So I was like, okay, maybe they'll fight and get out, whatever. But if I get off, then I'm going to have to run back to the front, whatever. So I just stayed in the back when I was about to jump off. But, with my suitcase, So finally, they stopped and she lost her shoe, and so she jumped off because she left her little shopping cart full of food or whatever. I don't know what was in there, whatever, off the bus. I don't think she was gonna leave that or whatever. I don't know if she stole it or what. But anyway, I was like, oh shit. So they finally get off. He sits down. I go right next to the bus driver or whatever. And I was like, what the shit is going on? She was like, girl, this ain't nothing. Like, what? We drive, so, I'm just like telling her how it was going on and all that. And then the guy who had to get to work, white guy, I was like, what was that? I was like, did you know her? And the bus driver was like, did you know her? Because she thought that they were friends or they knew each other. He was like, no, I don't know her. She tried to take, she tried to give me a fake pass. So anyway, we're driving up to the strip, and then there's like Christmas. When there's a lot of cop cars, it's like red and blue. I mean, it's just like Christmas. And I'm like, oh Lord. And then the bus driver was like, oh shit. And then, I look and there is Christmas. So she's like, I was like, well, you didn't get a message on your, scan or whatever, the speaker? She was like, no. And then she was like, I'm gonna have to turn or whatever. And then as soon as she said that, then it came across the radio or whatever. So then it was telling her to turn right exactly where she was about to turn. And then she couldn't because she was all the way to the right. So she was like, let me go. I was like, well, you can go up because this car is still going, so go up. So she, stopped because she was like, oh man, what if I would have not picked up these people, whatever. So she diverted or whatever. So then the cop who came on before, he gets on the bus. So I'm like, reiterating that to what happened to him. And he was like, wait, what? And he was like, he told the bus driver, you didn't even call this in? She was like, nah. And so then, it was just, I was just so traumatized. I had never seen anything. I had never seen a woman beat up two white men. I just never seen it. So I was trying to explain to him, and he was like, oh, that goes on every day. And I was like, what? He was a short guy. I'm about 5'7". He was about 5'5". He reminded me of Mayweather. I was telling him Mayweather, because Mayweather is in Vegas. I was like, Mayweather needs to sign this woman on to some boxing things, because that woman was squared up. And she was like, Mayweather, if you see this video, which you probably will, but you need to check out, girl. She big woman, dark. She about 5'4", about 300 or 400 pounds. I'm telling you, you should sign her to some contract, because if she can beat up two white men, then I know, you can make money off of her. Lord have mercy. So, okay, that's another thing that happened. So, okay, so let's get back to World Resort. So I'm telling everybody, on the bus where I see each other, people, whatever, seen a timeshare, whatever, everybody, let's meet up at World Resort tonight on Thursday night. Friday was my birthday. I went to the Motown Extreme, which was really good. Walked down Fremont Experience. Went to this nasty place that has a buffet Chinese food, where it's horrible, but whatever. Ugh. Anyway, so I catch the bus home. Oh, so when I get on the bus, get up to the top, me and this guy, I was like, oh, you copy, because we sat right in front. It's a double decker, sit right in front. So I was like, you're a copy. He was like, copy. I was like, you want to see this? I didn't know who he's with. I know he was with somebody. This woman comes up. They start going at it. She's mad because he hasn't really said anything to him, and he's been walking in front of her, and she was like, oh, you don't have to worry about me no more, and you ain't gonna treat me like, I mean, they're going at it. And I think I was just laughing like, I remember these days. I remember these days on the trip too. Oh, I remember. Girl, I was in London. Me and my ex, we was going at it. I'm surprised at the airport. We was going at it in the cab. We got the cab driver. I mean, I was ready to turn over. And we was arguing in London airport. I'm so happy that the London airport, they let us on that flight. Ooh, but I remember that. So I was trying to record it, but it didn't record for some reason. Thank you, Jesus. But I was just like, so I even said to them, I said, the Roar Resort is, opening up tonight or whatever. And, she mad. She didn't say it. She act like she didn't hear me. That's why he leaving you unless you paying for some. But she was leaving, honey. She was like, oh yeah, well you wait until we get back to the room where I can go home tonight. You can take me home tonight. Oof. Mm. So many vacations with a man that I totally understand. Anyway, so I take the bus home. I meet another couple on the bus. We're talking. Actually, it's like three or four of us. We're all talking or whatever about World Resort and stuff about Vegas. Whatever. This guy gets on, he's bleeding out. I'm just like, ugh, because the girl's like, watch out, he has blood. I was like, what? I was just like, so he was there from a convention, some cryptos or whatever. But he knocked his. I was like, ugh, like, ugh, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. I was like this the whole entire time I was there. I was like, okay, go to the room, take a shower, change, and take a little nap, get back up for the opening World Resort. I bet that was my whole thing. I wanted to be there. That's how I wanted to bring my birthday. Didn't happen. Um, I didn't wake up until 3 or 4 o'clock. 2:53, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning on my birthday. hmm So what I ended up doing, stayed up until 5 till the sun came up, put on one outfit, went to have my free breakfast at Denny's. That was a whole nother thing. This guy sent back his steak about 2 or 3 times or whatever because it wasn't right. Okay. Walk back. But it was, the air was clean. The homeless were on the street or whatever. It was just a nice way to bring your birthday. I was in Vegas. Okay, fine. Then I went to the hotel. I was going to go to World Resort in the morning where it wouldn't be that crowded, it wouldn't be that hot. I walked down there, walked back before, it gets really hot. Went to the room, went back to sleep. I was there about 7, went back to sleep until about 9. I was like, I have not even seen the pool. So I put on my swimsuit and everything and my maxi dress, Chrissy, and then went to the pool. Took a picture. Okay, fine. Came back to the room, changed my clothes. I was supposed to do another timeshare. That didn't end up, it didn't, whatever. It didn't come through because she was like, well, can you switch it? And I was like, no, what's going on? So we kept going back and forth. Okay, I was like, you know what, I got to check out. Did a leg checkout. They tried to charge me for a leg checkout. I was like, listen, all this that has happened to me, Chuck checked out, told the manager about some of the issues or whatever. She took like $42 off, which was basically what the fees that they were charging for the room. So I got that off, whatever. So I changed again. So that was my third change of the day. Then I went to the museum, the wax museum, which was really fun. Then I went to go have lunch. The wax museum was free from the timeshare. The lunch was free from the timeshare. And then I changed again in the Venetian. Changed again. Then went to World Resorts. Walked around there, changed again. Then I came back. Did I change? I think I changed one more time. I changed again. To all blue. So on my birthday, I think I did like 5 changes and I took lots of pictures, whatever. Let me tell you. I sat at the World Resorts and I was just people watching, but I was charging my phone, but I was people watching too. If you see on my new channel, NSF Travel 2020, okay? That's my travel channel. I'll just be sitting there, people watching whatever. This guy said that he had just saw Future. I think I saw Rick Ross walking by because he was having a concert the next day. It was packed. I think I saw some Mafia. I saw some Italians, they had on their Gucci. But it was different. It was like a Gucci sweatsuit with the Gucci, whatever, but I knew they were Mafia because they had the little dog. They were just a little too fly, but on the under. Does that make sense? They were fly, but they were on the under. And then they had a collection, beautiful collection of Rolls Royces, whatever. Then I sat and I put in like $1 in the dollar machine or $2 or something like that. And I got the coupon. Then I walked back because it got hot. That last day, it was hot. Walked back. I wanted to get some El Gordos for the flight back, and I wanted my son to taste it. Honey, that line was long outside in the heat. So we went there. So there's El Gordo, and then you go maybe a block down, and it's another taco place, whatever. They had a line. I was like, you know what, that's it. Because we were going back and forth. Then there was a chicken place in between. I was like, no. So I walked, and then I got some Panda Express. Then I got my bags. And that was a long line. I was like, oh God. They pushed my flight back to 10:30. So I had time. It was like 8:15 when I got my bags. My flight was leaving at 10:30. So, I got my bags from the bellhop. No, that's another thing you do. If you check out early and you got a late flight, put your bags at the bell room or something like that. And then give him a tip. And then the guy, he got my bags. And then I was like, okay, where's the cab? He was like, oh, you're taking the cab. So he was like, okay, let me bring you over. So he got me into a cab early. Gave him $5. Oh, this is another thing. Okay, this is another thing. When I arrived, I told you I was famished. So I went to the In-N-Out. I don't really like In-N-Out because the fries are a little too dry, not salty enough or whatever. But anyway, I was famished. I was like, okay, the lady at the front desk. I was like, where can I go to eat? She was like, In-N-Out is right there. I was like, okay. She was like, what are you looking for? I was like, just give me something, whatever. She said, In-N-Out is on the other side. Bye. Got there, was talking. I talk to people, whatever. So then, for some reason, I was talking to the security or whatever. I don't know what we were talking about, but she showed me her kids and all that, whatever. I don't know how we started talking. Anyway, and then I was like, oh, God, I am so hungry. I was just saying that because, I was saying that to everyone. She was like, oh. She was like, how many are you? Because it was a bunch of, I was like, no, it's just me. I'm not with them or whatever. She was like, come on. Pull me to the front of the line. I was like, yes. Yes, niece. So I ate that. That In-N-Out burger was so good. I like the links because it's the Flamingo, the link, and then I think there's another hotel, but Harris is a little down the street. I like that location. I really do like that location. Just for me. Now, if I'm with, a boo or whatever, I would like the Venetian or the Wynn or the Encore or something like that. But I like that location for me, or like for a girls trip or something like that. Or, maybe the Bellagio or the Caesars. Maybe, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get over there. Anyway, so when I left, I got my $5, and there was another security guard, because I think she was on break. And I was like, hey, where's the other girl? And he was like, oh, she's on break or whatever. And I was like, do you know how long she's going to be back? Because it could have been an hour lunch break or whatever. He was like, oh, no, she should be back in 2 minutes. Cool. She came, put my little $5 in my hand, walked up to her and gave, with the $5 in my hand, I was like, hey, thank you for, what you did or whatever. She got the $5 or whatever. She was like, oh, you're welcome. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Okay. Someone does that from you, you just don't say thank you. A security guard, whatever. I don't know. They may make good money, whatever, but it's Vegas. That's one thing about Vegas. You got tip, for the bellhop or whatever. Because I thought you tip them when you get your bags. And then, but this man, he had a handful of money. I was like, I thought you could tip before. And I was like, no,